How do you know this location?
Actually, it's just around the corner from my house or where I live, so we moved here a few years ago, and it's always in kind of a destination where we go for walks, and if you want to get away from the trouble and all the stress in your normal work time, and it's just a beautiful, calm place, beautiful castle, and this is why we ended up here, I would guess. But it's close to Munich, so you got all the benefits of Munich here while having a proper countryside living.
Can you tell me how you first started getting interested in lighting and why?
Funny enough, the first thing which really kind of struck my interest in our industry at all, I was about 8 years old when my daddy took me to a country and western concert close to Munich, just a small gig, local cover country band playing a gig, and little Roland was so fascinated by the sound mixing board, seeing that guy in this mixing board. For whatever reason at that moment, little Roland, 8 years old, decided I want to be a sound engineer. So I abandoned all the plans to get an astronaut or a firefighter or a race car driver. And that was my plan I wanted to do. And then fast forward at whatever the age of 11 or 12, I started to build my own little sound systems and lighting systems, which I rigged in my room at home. And then I started to rent out for little parties around. Got involved in doing stagehand work and whatever the age of 15 or 16 to put up whatever 10,000 folding chairs in Munich for a big Tina Turner show or something like that. At some point down the road I figured that lighting is more my cup of tea because it is a little bit more creative and it interested me more for whatever specific reasons. And I finished school, I did my military service, which we had to back in the days. And after military services, I started touring the world as a lighting technician, started with smaller gigs and so on and so forth, and I would say the rest is, to a certain degree, history.
And did you have any early mentors or influences during that period?
There have been plenty, and not only in the early stages. I mean, all over my career I had the pleasure and I had the luck to work with some really interesting people and very experienced people, like over here in Germany with people like Teddy Götz or Günther Jäckle or others like that, and later on also in my international career to work with people like Vince Foster or Patrick Woodruff or Adam Bassett and meet them and work with them. They all had an impact on my work, obviously, and I learned tremendously much from them. So.
You've been working with some legendary acts like Rammstein and shows that a lot of lighting designers would dream about being involved in. How did the Rammstein project start, and what are they like to work with as artists?
I mean, it all started, we started to talk with my good friend Nikolai Sabotka, who runs FFP, their pyro company, and also is their production manager, and has been for, I think, literally very early in their career. And we started to talk, and they planned to head out again, and at some point, there was kind of this was the starting point of our collaboration. They got interested in our work, and so we put a team together with myself and Florian and Patrick, a tag team, to attack it and do design work for them. And very early in the process we found out that they share one common thing with all of us, and this is a very collaborative effort. It's a great bunch of people. The band is really good. They are really, first of all, they are down to earth, which is priceless if you're trying to achieve a specific design, or if you're trying to achieve something. It's absolutely key, and it makes it way more easy if we're all talking on the same eye level and not being the rock star and the designer, or vice versa. It always is. It's all about bringing together humans who are having fun together, because if you're having fun, you'll be efficient and you will really start to create magic, or you will really start to fly. So it was very good, and also they are very into their show, so they've got a lot of interest. How is it happening? They bring in a lot of good ideas by themselves, and again, if you switch off your designer ego and don't say, no, designing is my part, no, it's about creating together for them. And you can integrate their ideas and make them work, and mix and match them with your own ideas. Rammstein was definitely an example of a great collaborative effort together with the band, their management, and all involved people to create something special and have a lot of fun with it.
What have you been doing since the pandemic's hit?
Pretty much all of 2020, besides of creating a few shows, never taking them out, but I was home and enjoyed family life. And the little one now knows she's got a daddy, which is good, because beforehand I was more the random fella popping in from time to time and dropping a bag of laundry. Made kind of clever use of, or smart use of that time. Together with my other close friend Florian Wieder, we founded a new company in Los Angeles with the Black Project because we had the time to as well.
You touched on it there, but can you just tell us a bit more about the Black Project?
I mean, it all started or dates back to the time because Florian and myself have always been very close private friends or social friends because we're both from Munich. Even though we are close friends and we're both from the same city and we're, let's call it mildly a bit of successful in our industry, in our own world. We always worked in two different worlds to a certain degree. He was always very broadcast heavy and special events. Over the last 10-15 years I was mostly concentrating on live entertainment in the form of concerts or theater shows and things like that. So we were always close friends, but we never really worked together. And then Rammstein came up, where we found out it was a lot of fun to work together because there was no ego neither on Florian's side nor on my side. It was really kind of a great creative ping pong, I love to call that, when you just ping pong ideas and you build and create something that way, which was priceless. And we also both shared a mindset of that it's never about lighting design only, it's never about set design only, it's always about overall design, which includes set, lighting, video, automation, anything your eye sees or the camera captures. So we both shared that kind of approach as well, thinking. And then we said, hey, why shouldn't we form a company? And then again, COVID started and we had the time to build it, and we founded the Black Project, a new production design studio in Los Angeles. And we did a few projects already, and there are quite a few lined up for the next years. And all that while just enjoying and having fun together, creating some work which is outside of the box and hopefully slightly different to the others' work. So that's about the Black Project, a combination of two very different but also kind of similar mindsets.
What do you most love about your work?
Pretty much everything, to a certain degree. I'm still feeling like a boy in a huge toy store with all those lights and video elements and pyro and beautiful toys we can use to create shows. And then foremost also, what we create is mostly there for one reason. It doesn't matter if you do a concert or a theater or if you produce a TV show. The reason for all of them is to bring joy to the people. And that all together with working with such an amazing group of people all around the world in our industry. And it's a very small industry, which is, I think, a very good thing, because especially if you're getting to do international shows or a certain scale of shows, this family is getting very, very small, and normally you literally know most of the people working on them, and there is a little bit of competition. Everybody wants to get the next gig and blah blah blah, but nevertheless I would never call any of the other designers or so competitors. They're all good colleagues, at least, or not, even if not friends, because there's no real battling, there's no reason to do so. That's the beauty of our industry, that it's a lot about friendship and good people. Apart
from obviously wonderful Munich, are there any other places in the world that you particularly like to visit or work or hang out?
I mean, I love to travel, first of all, and there are many lovely places around the world, and possibly even more important than the lovely places, having good friends there, and having traveled the world for 25 odd years, I've got quite a few good friends around the world. But nevertheless, what always sticks out to me is, for whatever reason, South Africa. It's a beautiful place, it's a very special place to me, also from the people who live there, and even though I possibly have just done 10-15 shows down there by myself, I always ventured back to that part of the world and kind of did lectures for the local industry, and over the years some very, very, very good friendships formed, and I'm thankful for them. And it's such a special place, and I can't even really put it in words why exactly.
Fantastic. And what are your hopes for the rest of 2021 and beyond?
To slowly but surely get started with what we normally do, again, like with real live shows and bigger concerts and bigger live entertainment. There is a little bit of hope, not internationally yet, but at least if you look at the UK or the US, the industry is getting more busy day by by the day, literally, with new TV shows and smaller gigs happening, which is good for all my friends around the world. And hopefully by whatever spring 2022, we are back to normal, or the new normal, because it will be slightly different than it has been before, but it will be normal again. And I'm quite confident as soon as we are at that point, the whole industry will be super busy, which is good to also make up for a fully lost year. So there's positive hope at the end of this situation, the pandemic situation, which is good.